Hello friends, welcome to this video. And this is the most in-depth course on the Agentic AI. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, I recommend that so that it makes better sense. So in this video, we will study about the Model Context Protocol, that is MCP, and why we use it, what purpose it solves. So MCP is a universal plug for tools. So why agents need a standard way to connect to tools, and what MCP is. In previous videos you wired every tool by hand. So if you remember the previous videos, we talked about the tools, how we create them, and in the demo I provided the details, like we are just providing a function for a tool, for example get weather or calculate the temperature, and for all of these functions everything resided inside the code base. Perfect for learning, fine for small agent, right? So that architecture is perfectly fine for small agent, but the problem is it doesn't scale, and that is where the where you hit the wall. So every agent rewrites every tool without a standard. Each agent needs custom code for each tool. Agent A needs to connect to weather, agent B also needs to connect to weather, C also needs to connect to weather. Whereas I mean all of the three agents are connected to three different sources or tools, or you can say that all of the three agents have their own copy of these tools. Three agents into three tools, it's equivalent to 9 custom integrations to build and maintain. MCP is like write once, connect anywhere. An open standard, a universal plug between agents and tools. Build a tool once as an MCP server, any MCP client agent can use it. Each side speaks MCP once, so it's M plus N and not M into N. Think USB, one connector, any device works with any port. So you can understand that MCP is basically a server where we are just placing all our tools, and any agent who wants to connect and use that tool, they just connect it to the server by using MCP, and there is a MCP client that the agent will use to connect to MCP server, and they will just invoke that tool and get the results back. So it's like a centralized server that holds your tools, and any agent can connect to it. Think the people who are from Java background, you may think of it as a repository or GitHub, where you package your common utilities and make it public by a repo, and if anyone wants to reuse that thing, they will just download and reuse it. At least they will not develop the same thing again and again. So it's similar to that. Same loops, the tools just move outside. The tools you hand wired inside now lives in separate server, reached through one standard connection. So agent runtime is using LLM, and then LLM directs that now we need to use tool. Then agent runtimes make connection to MCP client, use MCP client to make a connection to MCP server, and MCP server is the one that has the tools, that is get weather, get forecast, or it can connect to different MCP servers for reading and writing files. So MCP servers can also be easily categorized based upon what kind of tools they have. So two roles, client and server. MCP client lives in your agent, it connects out and makes the calls. MCP server wraps tools and exposes them over MCP, built by you, your team, and others. Many to many relationship. This is very important that it holds many to many relationship. One client can talk to many servers, and one server can serve many clients. MCP client, that is your agent, and then it makes a call to MCP server, returns the result or tool provider. What MCP buys you: pre-built tools, connects to servers others have built, don't reinvent them. Reusable tools, built once, use across every agent and share. Swappable, a standard interface so tools plug and unplug cleanly. A growing ecosystem, files, databases, web, SaaS apps, all as servers. So when you don't need MCPs, this is also important to understand. For a single local offline tool, handwriting it is simpler. MCP earns its keep when tools are shared, reused, and maintained separately. So understand this, friends, that initially only when the companies began creating agents, all of them did not use MCP from day one. But as the platform matures, as more and more and more teams start making agent and trying to reuse or duplicate the tools, then it has a very good purpose and advantage and use case where you come up with a centralized MCP servers that holds lots of tools that can be shared and used by the independent agents which are developed for independent purpose, but still they share common tool needs. So same rule, I'll always match the tool to the job. Don't add a protocol you don't need. MCP in one breath. So hand wiring tools doesn't scale. M agents into N tools, too many custom integrations. MCP is universal plug. Build a tool once, connect anywhere. Client server relationship. Your agent connects to tools providers over one standard. Same loop. The model still asks, the tool just runs in a server now, right? So in our demo previously, we used the tools in within the same script, and it's just a function that is being invoked. But now that function is transported to a remote server, right? And then you just have to use MCP protocols to connect to it. So in the next video, I will try to demo what how we use the MCP. Thank you.